Chairman of this evening's proceedings, the Honourable Seepersad-Bachan SC, Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, who will be joining us shortly, the Honourable Chief Justice, Mr. Justice Ivor Archie, my Cabinet colleagues, I see present the Minister of Health, Mr. Dr. Ford Khan, Senator Ganga Singh, Minister of the Environment, and Senator Vasant Bharat, Minister of Trade and Communications, Mr. Reynold Cooper, Permanent Secretary of the Prime Minister, and the Head of the Public Service, Ms. Gillian McIntyre, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Public Administration, other Permanent Secretaries and Heads of Departments, the Chairman, Mr. Gary Voss, and other members of the Trinidad and Tobago Diamond Standard Independent Advisory Panel, other senior government officials, Mr. Amir Hadar, Honorary Consul to Lebanon, team members of the Trinidad and Tobago Diamond Standard, participating agencies, awardees, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. There is a tide in the affairs of men, which, taken at the flood, leads on to fortune. Omitted, all the voyage of their life is bound in shallows and in miseries. On such a full sea, are we afloat? And we must take the current when it serves or lose our ventures. These words from Shakespeare's Julius Caesar speak about the importance of timing, whether in management or politics, and how vital it is for us to recognize and read the situations in which we find ourselves and to take advantage of the opportunities fleetingly presented. In 2012, such an opportunity arose for transforming the public service into a 21st century citizen-centric organization, one which delivers the highest quality goods and services in the shortest possible time and at the lowest possible cost. This came about because of the convergence of 5 key forces that previously were not at all present at the same time. The first of these is the rising tide of citizen demand for value for money and their desire to actively participate in the process of excellence in service delivery. Our citizens no longer just want to tell us how good or bad, give us feedback. They want to be part of the process and assist in designing and delivering services. The second is that all public servants are citizens who want opportunities to rise, to lead, and to be the best they can be. They are not afraid because of their conviction that with transformation come greater benefits, opportunities, and advantages, and already they are reaching out to that brave new world which will be theirs to own and operate, enjoy, and share. They know that with greater autonomy comes greater accountability, but they are not daunted. The third force is the growing availability of ICTs that are turning night into day for us. It is now well established that e-government spurs the innovation of new services and the transformation of existing ones through re-engineering of business processes. People can deal with people, and the machines can deal with processes. Red tapes will give way to green lights, and our response or turnaround time will be much shorter. The fourth is the political will that is clearly evident in the leadership of our government. Our Prime Minister set the tone by insisting that our primary focus should be on serving the people. Hence our commitment to the 24/7, never-ending task of working on your behalf. The fifth imperative is leadership, not just at the governmental or ministerial levels, but at all levels of management in the public service itself, particularly the Ministry of Public Administration. We are charged with facilitating and steering the process during and along the journey from gold to diamond, which was launched in 2012, our golden anniversary and will deliver before 2022, our Diamond Jubilee. Today's world is volatile and uncertain. Our societies and economies are hyper-connected. 20th century tools and solutions are no longer equal to the task. Increasingly, the business of Trinidad and Tobago is growing our business houses, and the public service has a crucial role in improving our national competitiveness and the ease of doing business. Whether their economic endeavor is in energy, services, or manufacturing, failure by the public service to get these fundamentals right would cause all the voyages of our lives to be bound in shallows and miseries. The Gold to Diamond journey was born out of a recognition of this reality and is based on three major thrusts. Firstly, the move towards modern organizational structures and systems, including a diamond-shaped human resource management architecture embedded with re-engineered processes for open government initiatives and results-based management, thus allowing the modern public officer to be empowered and innovative. Secondly, rising above the silos that we currently operate within, shared back-end support services will facilitate work across multiple boundaries and involve many participants in addressing complex issues, including the private sector, NGOs, and citizens themselves as co-creators and co-producers to achieve better results at lower cost. Thirdly, the no wrong door approach, allowing access to public services anytime, anywhere, via our smart devices, computers, or even public spaces not too far from one's doorstep. This trinity of forces is at the heart of the Trinidad and Tobago Diamond Standard Certification Program. This is the accelerant, the impetus, the flagship of the transformation that we are celebrating here this evening. It was launched in June of 2013 with 34 government agencies registering as participants. There are three main phases on the road to the Diamond Standard. The first involves the formulation of a customer service charter and a service improvement plan, while the second phase concentrates on implementing this plan. In the final phase, an independent assessment is conducted in accordance with the following 8 criteria, as we heard from the chairman of the Independent Advisory Panel. These 8 criteria are customer involvement and understanding, communications, promoting a customer service culture, responsiveness and service standards, the service environment, innovation and creativity, technology, and partnerships. These criteria and their sub-criteria were formulated in response to weaknesses identified in our own online research surveys and successive editions of the World Economic Forum's Global Competitiveness Report and the World Bank's Ease of Doing Business reports, all towards improving our ranking in these indices. Each step of the way, the Ministry of Public Administration worked with each service improvement team, guiding and assisting them on the road to success. After phases 1 and 2, in this first cohort, 20 of the 34 pilots applied for assessment and underwent rigorous evaluation, critique, and adjustments of their service delivery operations and mechanisms, measuring their progress against the previously agreed to high watermarks of excellence. We heard the chairman of the Independent Advisory Panel speak to this. This evening, we are awarding the Diamond Standard Certificate to the 11 service agencies who were successful in their bid during this first cohort. I am pleased to announce that 45 agencies have registered for the second cohort of the Diamond Standard Certification Program. I am indeed proud that there was great buy-in from all levels of staff striving for the diamond standard in their operations, as well as from the members of the public accessing those services. As the chairman of the independent advisory panel observed, it was this buy-in from the lower ranks to the middle management to the top leadership which made the diamond standard achievable. Organization leaders learned what it meant to be in the front line. Frontline officers teamed up with middle management and top leadership to re-engineer the way they delivered their respective government services. Citizens were engaged in the process and provided invaluable feedback to help with the redesign of workflows and processes. And in some cases, these citizens assisted with their implementation. Soon, the 11 successful service agencies will take their rightful place on stage this evening to claim their awards and enjoy their moment of glory and well-earned accolades, which hopefully will characterize the work of their organizations now and forevermore. Remember, this is not a competition. This is a standard which these organizations have worked hard towards and met in some cases, they may have even exceeded. Their certificates will be valid for 3 years, after which they will be required to reapply for recertification. Awardees are encouraged to continue seeking new heights in service excellence, even re-engineer their processes to ensure they remain dynamic and responsive. Should a service agency fail to maintain the required standards of service delivery, certification can be withdrawn at any time, and we are fully prepared to do so in the interests of our citizens and the reputation of our Diamond Standard brand. Given that diamonds are forever, this standard is here to stay. We are determined that all government service agencies achieve the Diamond Standard. The chairman of the Independent Advisory Panel spoke to the issue of micro versus macro and the bottom-up approach. The design of this certification program is based on the bottom-up and micro approaches in order to ensure it is doable, implementable, and achievable by public officers in collaboration with stakeholders and members of the public. Indeed, I'm very optimistic that through this flagship Diamond Standard Certification Program on our G2D journey, we are laying a solid foundation in the public service with our new breed of officers with the capability to execute transformation themselves and with the steady hands necessary for guiding our economy through the challenges of the 21st century. Ladies and gentlemen, there are many people whose commitment, support, cooperation, and hard work are responsible for where we are today. We cannot identify and thank them all, but I think it is only fitting that I recognize the following groups. Firstly, to the service improvement teams of the participating 34 service agencies in this first cohort. There were some extremely interesting findings from this experience, which convinced me that the future of the public service is in capable hands and that the transformation already is taking place. There was a level of creativity displayed that was astonishing. Staff looked at non-monetary mechanisms to enhance their service and demonstrated commitment by working after hours and on Saturdays and Sundays. This is an extremely mature and propitious stance. On behalf of myself, the Permanent Secretary, and the Ministry of Public Administration, we sincerely thank you. You not only encouraged us, but inspired us. Your sharings, especially in our callback sessions, will assist us to further improve the Diamond Certification Program for the benefit of future cohorts. You are our pioneers. The importance of your contribution will go down in history, and for this, you deserve a round of applause. Secondly, we would like to thank the staff of the Ministry of Public Administration's Public Service Transformation Division, who held the hands of the service improvement teams throughout the process. Tremendous strides were made in the development of mechanisms for the management and facilitation of customer focus groups and user panels. For the newly established Diamond Standard Certification Unit, we recognize that there was a steep learning curve, especially with respect to the training and development of independent assessors. For achieving this mandate during this set time frame, we salute you with a round of applause. However, there is still much work to be done towards improving and perfecting this program. I know there were times when I seemed to be a hard taskmaster as we sought to bring the first cohort to fruition. I make no apologies. This is a work in progress, and continuous improvement must be our mantra as we try to respond to emerging best practices in this dynamic, volatile, and uncertain world. Finally, the Independent Advisory Panel, comprising members of the private sector and chaired by Captain of Industry Gary Voss. We are thankful to all of you for your human public service and your commitment to taking this project to higher heights. We salute you. Please take a bow, a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. To the 11 agencies receiving awards this evening, you are the standard bearers of the new 21st century citizen-centric public service. Remember, excellence is a continuum, not a destination. Keep pushing the envelope. In addition, I don't know if anyone told you, but you now have an added responsibility and duty to assist and guide agencies in our second cohort. Therefore, you are all now part of the community, an online community of Practice Forum, Interact, designed to facilitate, encourage, and engender sharing and transferring of knowledge across related industries. That said, I commend your achievement and your tenacity. You deserve a round of applause. To all of us in attendance here this evening, public officers, stakeholders, citizens, this Gold to Diamond journey of public service modernization and transformation is moving apace. We must not slip. We must not lose momentum. We must take the current when it serves or lose our ventures. As Shakespeare observed, this is a consummation devoutly to be wished. It is what we are working diligently towards and what together we will achieve. May God continue to bless our public service with the strength, the courage, and the wisdom to face the challenges that are ahead of us. And may God continue to bless our beloved nation, Trinidad and Tobago. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen.